The following is a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates.
The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Hello, I'm Brian Akers. Welcome to Winning in Retirement. Today I have certified financial planner practitioner Alex Monk with me. He's been in the industry and working alongside me for 9 years now. So it's about time. I think he really does know everything, almost, right, Monk? How are you doing today?
I'm good, and that's a funny question. It depends on who you ask.
I've found in the 30-some years I've been doing financial planning that the more I look and research, the more I find that I need to learn. So it's sort of like a snowball. It needs to get more and more knowledge. It's you sort of arrive, but then you realize, oh, I didn't arrive. I need more.
I love the days where I find something, I'm like, oh, that's a new one.
Well, when you go to these big training events and you're doing whatever version this year, on webinars, things like that, and you're listening for that one nugget to give you information. Today, we want to give you that one nugget. We want you, when you're done listening to our Winning in Retirement show today, we want you to understand the basics of annuities. So welcome to Annuities 101.
Oh, yeah, big fun today. And there's a lot of different kinds of annuities out there, Brian. I don't know that we're going to be able to teach them everything about everything, but we'll get started.
Yeah, well, let's hit some high points, hit some low points, talk about the good, the bad, and really talk about how it's used. That's what we're going to try to do during our show today, winning in retirement. What we want you to do with this is think about the last 20, 30 years here, and think about what do we want our money to do. One of the things that greatly affected me as a financial advisor was what happened on 9/11. That was a Tuesday morning. That was a horrible day in our country's history, and that was a day when the stock markets shut down. They were closed. They were closed for the rest of that week and did not open up till the very next week. So 9/11 became a week where, as a financial advisor, you're talking to clients, but you really couldn't trade, you couldn't do things. And I began to wonder about what should I do for my clients that are retired? Shouldn't their protected money always be protected, even if a terrorist or anything else, a virus, whatever it is, would come to destroy our money? And that began my process of evaluating and going out and figuring out what could protect people's money.
And that's an interesting topic, because the old stock market brokerage answer is stocks, bonds, and cash. And that's pretty much all you were limited to for a long period of time. And now you can add in other asset classes that are tradable. You can add in bank products. You can add in insurance products, and mainly the annuities. And I'm not really sure if it's a marketing thing, but somehow along the way, the word annuity kind of got a bad vibe with it. And I think it's kind of a bad rap. What do you think, Bri?
I think the word annuity is confusing. If you work for the federal government and you hear the word annuity, you think that's my pension. It's my annuity when I retire. When some people think of an annuity, they think of high fees. When some people think of an annuity, they think of the insurance company's going to keep all my money. And so the thing is that an annuity comes in many different forms. So we want to try to cover some basics of that. So let's cover some of those objections that I just brought up. What is the annuity that actually has high fees?
Well, there's a bunch of them out there, and that's not necessarily an inaccurate negative. And the ones that are typically the most guilty of the high fees are going to be the variable annuities. And that's because of the effect of the layering of fees. So in a variable annuity, you can have internal investments, which have fees inside, and then you can have contract expenses, mortality expenses, you can have annual contract fees, you can have riders, all types of different things. Sometimes they can get to what, 4, maybe more, 4%? And that makes it really hard to have a real return on your money. And that's the biggest downside to variable annuities.
All right, so a variable annuity typically are purchased through a broker because they have to be licensed to be able to sell a variable annuity, not just life and health license, but licensed in securities like Series 6, Series 7. And so some type of stockbroker and financial planner advisor might put people into variable annuities. Variable annuities does have these layers of fees, from contract fees to something called a mortality charge. Mortality charge is based on what reason, Alex?
That's because there's a death benefit typically associated with these contracts. And whenever they give you something, they charge you for it typically.
Right. So a variable annuity, you have your money, and that money goes into the investment, and then they give you sub-account choices. Those sub-accounts are money that can be invested in stocks, bonds, international, small, large cap, all kinds of sub-accounts that are available to you. But there's a risk of that investment going up and down. What a variable annuity, the base thing that they'll do is they say that if you pass away, we will pay you a guaranteed amount. Typically, it begins with the amount of money you put in. Some newer policies will escalate that and lock it in after 7 years. There's lots of variables. But generally, the first piece is the fact that they will guarantee your money if you die, and they charge for that. And that's about a 1% to 1.5% fee that's taken every year, good or bad, during those years.
And I don't want everyone out there listening to say, oh, I have this old variable annuity, or I have this variable annuity, it's terrible. Because we've seen some where they work out okay. But they have to be used correctly and positioned correctly. And sometimes, if you have an older one, there can be reasons to keep them. But you really have to understand, okay, one, what kind of contract do I have? Two, what is it going to do for me? And three, how am I going to use it? And a lot of people don't use them right.
Well, what happens is they'll put all their money in a variable annuity because they want a little bit of a guarantee. And then people don't understand that thick prospectus that they get shows all the different fees involved. So the fees are like mortality and administration costs. Then there's a charge where, yes, we guarantee the variable annuity guarantees a death benefit, but they also can guarantee income. And so there's an extra charge for that. I consider this like ordering a pizza. You go out to order a pizza, you get a standard pizza, right? And so you get some cheese, sauce, and you got your choice of crust. If you want to add a topping, boom, $1.50 or $3, depending on what size you pick. If you add 2 toppings, 3 toppings, you look for coupons. You look on anywhere you can to get a coupon, right?
And it's not like one of those deals where you add 3 toppings, the rest are free. There's no break. The fees just keep going. So you got to make sure you got the right stuff on your variable annuity pizza.
All right, so today what we're offering for you, the listener, is this. Do you own an annuity? Do you understand that annuity? Do you know what it is? Is it a variable annuity? That's what we're talking about this segment. If it is, do you know how it works? Do you know how to use it best for you and your family for income and the guarantees inside? Many times we, as stockbrokers, registered stockbrokers through being a Series 7, what we're able to do is look at and review where people are and explain what they have. We need statements. We need the original policy to sort of show you all the options you have. In other words, we speak annuity. We can translate annuity into English. Is that correct, Monk?
As best as we can. Now, they're not simple products, so don't think that you're going to come out of this thing the Swami of all annuities, but you'll know the basics, like, okay, what do I got going on here? What are my options? And how does that really fit for my story? Because that's about what it is. How does it fit the client?
Right. So if you would like to have your annuity reviewed by one of our team of advisors, give us a call at 833-946-7684, 833-946-7684, or go to our webpage at acresfinancial.com. All right, so we've been talking about the objection of a variable annuity. The other objections are the fact that An annuity is actually the name of my pension if you're a federal government person. Can you try to explain the difference, how annuity is used in that definition?
That term annuity is about the payments and how they're structured. I would call that type of a pension similar to an immediate annuity or a lifetime, joint lifetime annuity. And that's just a stream of payments. There's no cash value. There's no internal fees or anything like that. It's a stream of payments for a set period of time.
All right, so when you're looking over annuities, what we're doing today is going over Annuities 101. We talked about a little bit of the objections of things, where it comes down to variable annuities and the high fees that are internal to a variable annuity. And then we talked a little bit about another objection about understanding the word annuity itself. Annuity and the word annuitization will be a topic we'll have throughout the show. We'll talk about that. Typically, an annuity is something that somebody sells to the client, to the person. Would you agree with that, Alex?
Yep, and if you have a variable one, you probably got it at a bank, but just guessing.
But that variable annuity or anything, a lot of times it's sold and not really followed up on. So what we found in our career is that people need someone to review and go over where they are with these variable annuities. So what we try to do at Acres Financial is this. We don't want you to be in a reaction mode. We don't want you to be defensive or upset about things you already own to a point where you just let it go and just say, oh, forget about that. I bought that 20 years ago. Leave it alone. What you need to do is understand what you have. Instead of being defensive and reacting in a negative way, what you need to do is have an energy that's be creating and doing things that create opportunities for you and your family. How can you improve? How can you make your plan work better for you? We have to start with that unique financial fingerprint, where you are. So we are in the creating mode, the solution mode. It's a choice. We want you to win in retirement. Take this opportunity to begin planning with us at Acres Financial Group. To schedule your free phone or video meeting, call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule a phone or video meeting. We look forward to meeting you. We even have begun to do some mask meetings. That's an in-office meeting. But, of course, we rather wait for that day for when we don't have that. So give us a call at 833-946-7384. Go to our webpage, acresfinancial.com, or check us out on Facebook. So you want to spend your last dollar on your last day? How do you actually do this? We'll tell you the secret in a moment. Acres Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals by discovering the purpose of each financial decision. We can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at acresfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
The choice of your child's school is vitally important. Wouldn't you go a few more miles for something really special? I'm Brian Wilson, principal of Harford Christian School. Harford Christian is an independent school in northern Harford County, serving students in preschool through 12th grade. Our Uncommon Core makes all the difference. For nearly 50 years, we've partnered with parents in the important responsibility of training children in God's truth. Our biblical worldview stands in stark contrast against today's culture. At HCS, political correctness is never prioritized above God's unchanging truth. We hold the bar high as we prepare students to serve God's kingdom, not just the workplace of man. Affordable tuition and transportation options put the choice of Christian education within your reach.
Come visit the longest established Christian school in Harford County. You can become acquainted with us through a private tour or on the web at harfordchristian.org. retirement.org.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Alex Monk. We both work with Akers Financial Group. We have offices throughout Maryland. We know the listening area is broad throughout this region, and we know that we want you to know that we can talk to you and go and become your advisor anywhere you are located around this area. So if you can hear the voice, you can actually talk to us, and we can even be there if we need to talk to you. I guess in person is all mask to mask. Now, Alex, how are things going for you and how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, Brian. So annuities are kind of one of my favorite topics because they're so complex. And that's a good and a bad thing. They're hard to understand sometimes, but they can be used in so many cool ways if done right.
Yeah, so today what we're doing is a annuities one-on-one class. So here in the second quarter, our goal is to cover annuities one-on-one. And what we're going to do is start by beginning with our topic, which is, so you want to spend your last dollar on your last day. How do you actually do this?
Well, you can have an immediate annuity, and that would be where payments are only as good as your life, meaning they only last as long as your life. And when you die, there's nothing left.
So that's a lot like your pension, where if you choose single life in a pension or single life in an annuity payout, like annuitization or immediate annuity, single life means as long as you live. If you live 1 month, the insurance company, basically you're sort of placing a bet with them saying, here's this money, give me a payment for life. And they say, okay, I'll take that action or whatever you want to call it. And then if you pass away a month or two later, there is no benefit unless you choose that to be a benefit, right?
Right. And so the annuitization, there's a bunch of different options you can choose. You can do your lifetime, your life and your spouse's life, your life with a period certain, meaning you can say, hey, if I die tomorrow, this thing's got to pay out for 10 years no matter what. But if I live 40 years, you got to keep paying it. And the payments are all based on the mortality rates and whatever the actuaries do with all their numbers, and they calculate how long you might live based on just big data.
Right. So when we talk about immediate annuity, it's something that we use very, very rarely. We also use the version or the option of annuitization very rarely, because in their calculation is today's interest rate. The interest rates they use in their calculation, and that's below 0.6 recently. So interest rates are lower than immediate payouts are lower.
Right, and that an immediate payout, there's no going back. You know what I mean? So that's a done deal. And you can lock that low interest rate in for potentially your life, your spouse's life, or whatever period you select. And that makes it hard.
And so what's happening is that people look at annuities and they say, oh, annuities, they're going to keep all my money. And my answer to that is, if you choose an immediate annuity and you choose single life and you give up your rights to death benefit by signing forms, that would be true. We would recommend that you don't ever do that unless there's a very special situation that makes the immediate annuity the right tool for you and your family and income. It's all based on what's going on in your life.
It's kind of like a ripcord if you're just dire straits, no other option, or if you're doing some type of Medicare planning or something like that.
And I had a case where a client's mother is in her 90s, wanted to move into a subsidized housing, but because she sold her car and everything else, she had $35,000, $40,000 in a bank account, and basically they said, with that money, you don't qualify for specialized housing. If you put it into a lifetime immediate annuity and give her income every month the rest of her life, the income counted in their calculation, but the bank account was no longer there, thus creating the opportunity for that person to qualify for the housing. So that's a very special situation where that's worked a few years ago.
And she's actually doing pretty well. I talked to her last week, and she's just amazing. One of the healthiest older people I've ever met.
How old is she now? 93, 94?
At least.
Something like that, right?
More than that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think our oldest client is 99, I think, right now. But it's amazing. If you had to look at the stats of Acres Financial clients, the fastest growing category over the last 5 years has been 90-year-olds. The multiplication of the amount of 90-year-olds is amazing. And so what's neat is to design financial plans that's good for them at whatever age they are. So what happens in life is that there are lots of choices, a lot of decisions. So let's say you have a situation where you own an annuity and you don't know if it's an immediate, or you don't know if it's something that's annuitized, or you don't know how to use it. We're offering today is this. Would you like to know what you own? Do you own an annuity? Would you like to understand what you have? Would you like to figure out how to use it best for your exact goals, your unique situation? Give us a call at 833-946-7684. And one of our team of advisors will sit down and talk with you through video calls. We can do it on a phone call. We also do it mask to mask in one of our offices. So you give us a call at 833-946-7684 to review the annuities that you already have. Our next topic here, Alex, is fixed annuities and then the concept of some laddering. So a basic fixed annuity, what is a basic fixed annuity?
Okay, so a fixed annuity or a guaranteed rate annuity is similar to a CD. It's like a CD, but issued by an insurance company. They say, how long would you like a guaranteed rate for? And they'll give you different rates based on the length of time that you pick. They typically pay out a little bit higher of a rate than a CD would, but they have less access or higher penalties if you need to blow it up or get it out early than a CD would. But it depends on, the bank and the annuity company.
All right, so some of the cool names are MIGAs and single premium deferred annuities. So MIGA, multi-year guaranteed annuity, is a MIGA. So if you ever get something in the mail or you hear it from your bank, talk to us about your 2.25% interest rate, or talk to us about 3% interest rate, and you look at the CD board and you see that, wow, it's at 1. What could be that higher rate? Typically, it is a fixed annuity. Now, we put fixed annuities into a protected category. How is it different than a bank, and how is it still protected?
Okay, so insurance companies and banks are regulated under two separate things. So a bank is covered by FDIC insurance, and that's a federal program that ensures, money you have in the bank. And that allows banks to loan out, they only have to have 7 cents for every dollar they lend out on deposit because they're federally insured. Now, an insurance company has to have assets in excess of what they have owed, meaning death benefits, annuity contracts, etc. So those annuities are guaranteed by the assets of the underlying insurance company. And that's where they're slightly different. They fall under different regulators. Most of the annuity stuff is done at the state level, where banks are federal. And that's why it's very important to make sure your insurance company is financially stable.
Absolutely. So the stability of a bank, they come with a lot of different rating companies. So that's something to get to know before you ever invest or buy an annuity. So we're talking about banks. The banks have a way of running their business. They offer an interest rate for certain periods of time or for full liquidity. And then the bank takes the risk with your money. They lend it out. So you put your money in there, and then they lend it out. With the Federal Reserve's help, they're able to send out money multiple times. If you ever seen It's a Wonderful Life, you'll hear at the very end of the movie, they come in running for the money. They're making a run on the bank, asking for money. And then he gets up there and he says, that money's in your house. It's in your business. It's there. I can't have all this money right now. There's only a certain amount of liquidity that a bank has. And so the federal, since the Investment Act of 1940, has been there to support people putting money in banks. So there is FDIC limits on the FDIC website. You can see that the limit's like $250,000 per person that owns the account per beneficiary. There's a lot of fancy ways to build your FDIC protection for CDs and money markets. So the insurance company comes in with a guarantee corporation. This guarantee corporation is there to really truly compete with the bank. It does not have the same guarantee as a CD or at a bank. It's not going to have the federal government behind it. It's only going to have the insurance industry and the actual company you put your money with. The longer the company's been around, the better their rates when it comes to their ratings are wonderful. So sometimes when you go for high rates, typically that's going to be a small insurance company. Their rating might not even be A or A minus rate. It might be in the B range. You have to watch that. So if you're shopping interest rates, trying to take your money that's protected, and you're looking at something 3-year, 5-year, or longer, that is what MYGAs or fixed annuities provide, is a guaranteed interest rate. That guaranteed interest rate is tax deferred if it's not an IRA. If it's an IRA, it is tax deferred, but an annuity itself, prior to 59.5, that money is deferred till you're 59.5. So an annuity has a setup, a way of organizing itself, and the way they have their guarantee corporation, you can know that money is very protected. Earlier on, I had my story about 9/11, and one of the things there was there are some insurance companies that had lots of other companies affiliated with them that had a tremendous trouble when backing mortgages. And what happened is those companies lost lots of their money, and most of those companies went bankrupt. But the fixed guarantee portion of even that big insurance company was still there. That money was still guaranteed and available for people to roll out of there if they wanted to.
And they tried to let the other parts of the business get it, but it didn't happen. And it's still intact to this day with a different name.
Absolutely. We're trying not to bring up too many names today, though, right?
No, I can't say it.
That's okay. All right. So this portion of our show, we're talking about immediate annuities. We're talking about what's going on when it comes to if you want your last dollar to be spent on your last day, an immediate annuity might be right for that. Retirement is about so much more. It's about income. It's about cash flow. Once you get that set up, you want to then be able to relax. You want to be able to have every day be like a Saturday, where your time is given back to you and your commitments aren't really there to destroy your clock. You have more time to do things. To be able to think about getting your time back in retirement, we want you to win in retirement. Understand what you own. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. You can give us a call, leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule a phone or video meeting with one of our team of advisors. Give us a call at 833-946-7384 if you'd like to find out more, or go to our website, acresfinancial.com, or go to Facebook. How would you feel driving over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge if there were no guardrails? Well, then why would you retire without protecting some or all of your assets? Stay tuned to learn how you can do this.
You are unique. Just as no two fingerprints are alike, each individual's financial situation is uniquely their own. That's why the Acres Financial Group's team of advisors begins each relationship with a proven process that identifies your financial fingerprint. We'll guide you through a series of steps designed to provide a complete and accurate snapshot of where you are right now. Everything we learn about your financial fingerprint will become part of a detailed financial plan created especially for you. We'll never give you a cookie-cutter proposal or suggest a one-size-fits-all portfolio. The financial plan takes you from where you are now to where you need to be. Begin by discovering your financial fingerprint right now by going to getmyfinancialfingerprint.com. That's getmyfinancialfingerprint.com.
Member FINRA SIPC.
Are there times in some games you wish you could just turn on the TV at the 2-minute warning? Because that's the most important part of the game, right? As a fan, these are the most exciting moments. Your team could take home the victory or crumble under pressure. But when it comes to your retirement, don't wait until the last 2 minutes. So much can happen in the final working years before retirement. Whether you're in your 50s or 60s, near or already in retirement, there's still time to put a plan in place. Don't wait until right before you retire to begin planning for your future. Can you win the retirement game like that? Come in and talk with the team at Acres Financial Group. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, Certified Financial Planner Practitioner, and here with me today is Alex Monk, also a Certified Financial Planner Professional at Akers Financial Group. How you doing, Monk? Are you ready for the second half of our show today?
I mean, Saturday, right about 11:30 is when I really start hitting my stride, Brian.
That's cool. Hope things are good for everyone out there listening. As you're driving around or whatever you're doing right now, our show is Winning in Retirement. No matter what your age is, we want you to win in retirement. If you're already in retirement, do you feel like you're winning? Well, sometimes you need a second opinion to find out, are everything okay? Do you know what you know? Or what if you don't know what you don't know? You need to have a financial advisor. So Acres Financial Group, we do financial planning. We implement through investment management, through insurance analysis. We do full services. So anytime you're thinking of financial services, think of Acres Financial Group. So Brian Akers and Alex Monk are on the show today. Our topic at this time is this: how would you feel driving over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge if there were no guardrails?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not doing it. There's no shot I get on that bridge. Nope.
All right, so you come up to, let's say it's a smaller bridge. It's a small bridge, and you can see the other side, but there's no guardrails. Would you go to the middle and go slower? What would you do?
Who's in the car? If it's just me, I'll go for it. Whole family, not happening.
Okay. Well, that's all fair. So imagine people, they're looking at the bridge and they see the guardrails. Now the guardrails are there, and the fact they're there give us that confidence to go across that bridge. Many times we'll go across that bridge at full speed because we are confident that the low bidder that did the guardrails did a good job. Is that a fair comment to say there, Alex?
You assume when you see them that they're going to work, and you kind of take them for granted, right? You don't plan for the worst case until it happens, and that's the worst time to plan for it.
So imagine if you're entering retirement, you're getting ready to go over to that bridge into retirement years. You want to win in retirement. Are you going to enter retirement without having some kind of protection on your money? Are you going to have guardrails on your retirement? Now, the rule of 100 is something that comes across my mind when I think of guardrails. Can you try to explain the rule of 100, Alex?
So if you take your age minus 100, it should get you, hopefully, a number that's less than 50 if you're in retirement, unless you did a really good job saving. But whatever your age is, you take that minus 100, that should be the amount of money of your overall investable portfolio that's at risk. The rest of the money, it needs to be in some scenario where it's spread between other asset classes. Not the whole other portion needs to be in protected funds, but some blend of it should. And that's why when you say guardrails, we have limits on how much money is actually at risk.
Right. So for years, when I was young as a financial advisor, I listened to Julius Westheimer, one of my favorite radio financial advisors that I've listened to. And he would use this 100 minus your age was the amount to put in equities. And during the 80s and the 80s boom, he'd raise it to 120 minus your age to be able to show the ability to go more aggressive into the market. So that means if you're 65 years old, 35% would be this theoretical equity proportion. And then if you take math and you say, well, what's the other piece? Well, it's your age. So your age is the amount of money we need to be careful with. Now, this is just one way of evaluating where people are when it comes to should they have money protected. We believe you need guardrails on your money. You need to have guardrails on your income as you enter retirement. What are some ways to do this, Alex?
So one of my favorite ways to explain it, Brian, is people are always familiar with life insurance when they come in and they meet. Throughout their life, different people have told them, whatever it is about life insurance, and life insurance is there in case you die too early. Now, most people, when they reach retirement age, they don't have a specific need to protect with life insurance. So I equate the annuity portion to insurance on them living too long. So by having that ability to have a lifetime guarantee on some of your retirement income is a really nice thing, because we don't know how long we're going to live.
Right. So in annuities, or looking at annuities, they have some riders called lifetime income riders that are different than annuitization. So lifetime income riders are something you add to a policy where you are usually charged a fee for it.
Yeah, so you're either charged a fee or there's some type of restrictions. In order to get any of the promises or the things that these companies offer, there's always a take, right? And that take is through some type of limited access for a certain period of time or a fee. But you got to know, okay, what am I giving up and what am I getting for it? And if it's the right fit and it addresses the needs that we want, then yes, that annuity can fit extremely well for someone. But there's no cure-all annuity out there, right? I mean, you can't just show up to a job site with a hammer, Brian. You got to bring your whole toolbox.
Right. So on fixed annuities, you can have riders that provide income. So if your goal is for this money to provide income, this might be when you're 72 and you have to take money out, or it might be at retirement when you need to meet your income needs right away. You would have these fixed annuities in place that would provide this kind of income for life, with a balancing of the ability to have death benefit to your heirs as long as there's money still in the policy. Can you try to explain that combination?
Right. So an income rider blends an annuitization, which is a lifetime payout, with the ability to still access the remaining cash value in your policy. And what that does is it kind of gives you a peace of mind that life happens. It changes. Things are weird. You don't know if you're going to die today, or if you're going to live 30 years. So we want to be prepared for all those scenarios. If you start your payments today and you get hit by a bus, whatever's still left in your contract cash value or death benefit amount will still be available to your spouse or your heirs, depending on the lifetime payment option. But if it's just one remaining spouse, there's still going to be something left. It's not all gone. The insurance company doesn't get it all. Now, the cash value in the policy and the income value can be two separate things. And they can have different earnings calculations, different crediting methods, and that's where they get confusing. And a lot of people are misled. They hear these ads and it's like, what's that thing that does a 10% a year? Nothing. That is the answer that you're looking for. That's not a real number. Don't believe that. And I hear people all the time asking about that. Oh, I heard that. And that is usually an income account value. So you got to know the difference between what your cash is doing and what your riders or other values are doing for you.
All right. So basically, we want you to understand that Acres Financial can translate what Alex just said into how it works for you. So translating the annuity language, the contractual guarantee language, into how it apply for you and your family. We want to know where our income is going to come from in retirement. We want to know we can count on it if there's terrorism, if there is virus, if there's economic pullback. We need to know that our money will be backed by certain protections. The protections under annuities are from the insurance companies. So the higher quality they are, how they invest their money, all matters when it comes to using those as guarantees. So today we're offering people, if you own an annuity and not sure what it is, if you need someone to translate translate what you have owned or what you bought. Maybe that advisor, that insurance agent's no longer around, but you want a good qualified advice. You can give us a call at 833-946-7684. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. Or go to our website, acresfinancial.com, to find out more about it. So what we've been covering in this segment is this. We talked about the Chesapeake Bay Bridge and about going over that bridge. If it did not have guardrails, we probably wouldn't go. But that guardrails gives us the security to go over that bridge. So when you're thinking about the bridge into retirement, and you want to go into that bridge in retirement, and what's holding you back? Well, maybe it is you need some guardrails on your finances to make sure that money is going to be there and be there for a lifetime.
Right, and that number is different for everyone. People have other types of income, they have different scenarios, and they have different feelings about retirement, money, how long they're going to live. And the real answer is, how do we make what you have or what you're going to have work to achieve what you want? Really, because retirement's about what you want if you've planned properly.
Absolutely. Knowing your goals is the very first thing that drives a financial plan. Now, goals and then a reality check on your financial fingerprint brings it all together. So what we do at Acres Financial is we take a look at where you are now, and we have a good conversation, a talk. Back in ancient days, we used to have coffee and talk around about it. Now we still have coffee or water, but it's a little bit of a masked juggle during the meeting, but it's interesting. Or on the Zoom, it's pretty good. You're able to sit there drinking your coffee, and you can talk to an advisor through the amazing technology that's out there today. So annuities is our topic. Annuities 101. There's a lot going on. The word annuities had its up and downs when it comes to what people think or have an opinion. We want you to know that it's important to know what you own. So the last question I have for you at this segment is this, is Alex, when you're thinking about people going in retirement and you're trying to add a guardrail, is the income rider the guardrail, or what else do you add as a guardrail?
So it depends on what we're trying to accomplish. Sometimes we can structure them for a death benefit, if that's what we're looking for. Sometimes we structure them for the income, and sometimes we just do it for growth, Brian. A way to limit downside and still get some upside.
Yeah, so the purpose drives the recommendation. Acres Financial is local. We're throughout Maryland with our offices, but we also are not owned by a big corporation. Our confidence in our recommendations come from the fact that we work with you and what is your best interest in mind. We start with that. Give us a call at 833-946-7384 if you'd like to find out more, 833-946-7384, or go to acresfinancial.com, or you can visit us on Facebook. Would you use a hammer to cut a board? In your financial life, you need to use the right tools to accomplish your goals. We'll be right back with the tools you need to use.
Imagine you're retired. You wake up in the morning and you don't even know what day it is. Every day seems like a Saturday. You can sleep in, cook a nice full breakfast without thinking about morning traffic or work deadlines. The Saturday calmness you used to crave is now your everyday feeling. You're not worried about your retirement income or how your investments are doing. Your biggest decision that day is where you're going to drink that first cup of coffee. Is that the kind of retirement you want? If it is, then sit down and talk with the team at Acres Financial Group. They want to help you get there. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
Acres Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at acresfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. You're here in our fourth quarter of our show. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Alex Monk. Alex, you've been working at Akers Financial Group nine years already. You've developed many different licenses and also the CFP. You've been a certified financial planner practitioner, and then you also are educating yourself even more each and every year, right?
So Brian, I'm kind of a financial dork. I get jacked up on this stuff. I don't get it, but I'm in the right place.
All right. Well, you found your niche for a job, which is great. A career is something where you enjoy working with the clients, enjoy helping them, and you like bringing the knowledge to be able to help them go in the right direction. So Akers Financial is built all around that. It's built on integrity, the trust. We want to have intelligent financial design behind any and all advice we give our clients. So many of you have been listening since the beginning of our show. Some of you have not. If you just tuned in right now, what we recommend is this. You can get the rest of our show through our website at acresfinancial.com. There's a radio tab. You click that, and by Wednesday of next week, we'll have this show uploaded or download it one direction or the other, and you'll be able to go in there. You can check out the radio show from this week and any past weeks. We have our radio shows online. And then we have a newer tab called Webinar. And under Webinar, you can see some of the video productions that we've done over the last few months. So Akers Financial is doing a lot of work to add information and education for our clients and even our listeners. So we highly recommend you go check that out. All right, Alex, would you use a hammer to cut a board?
It depends on how frustrated I am, Brian, because I have done that, but typically, no, I would not.
I can picture you doing that, or actually, I guess, golfing. If you miss too badly, that club disappears. But usually when you cut a board, you are the Watt fan, so you use the Watt form. Power tool, right?
Yeah, so I have some brand loyalty there, and that's my brother-in-law's fault, so blame him, not me.
All right, but the tool for any and all jobs is the key ingredient. So today we're doing a talk about Annuities 101, and what are some of the basic good and bad and things to think about, things you should know. Now, the thing is, we don't need you to know everything about it, but you need to have an advisor, someone that's there for you that can speak it, can translate it. So we are offering that if you have an annuity and you would like to have someone explain it to you, someone explain how to use it is one of the most important features. We want to be there for you. And just give us a call, 833-946-7684 or 7384, or you can call us at that number, 833-WIN-RETIRE. Go to acresfinancial.com. Lots of ways of contacting us, but we can do that review, a second opinion of what you have and how it works. Now, Alex, there's a thing called a fixed index annuity. I'd like you to explain some basics of that if you have a chance.
Okay, let me see what I got on the calendar. I'm good for the next foreseeable future, Brian. So earlier we talked about fixed rate, and that is a certain period of time and a certain interest rate. Sometimes they have a teaser rate for the first year, but typically it's cut and dry. When you say fixed indexed, the big change there is how that interest is credited, and it's tied to an index. That index, or inside that contract, you can have multiple index options. You can have multiple crediting options, multiple calculation options. But essentially, it is an index that you pick for a certain time period, and you can get a percentage or a participation rate of whatever that index does in that time period. So it's an interest calculation tied to typically a tracked index or a stock market index, a bond index, something like that.
All right. So fixed index annuity. So fixed is basically it's through the Guarantee Corporation. So that makes it different than a variable or an immediate. So when we're talking about a tool, fixed index has a role as a tool. The role that we use fixed index for is building a ladder, like investing in bonds. We build a ladder with 5 years, 7 years, that kind of period of times, 10 years, whatever length of time we're trying to build out for income and for growth. A fixed index annuity gives you the principal guarantee, and then the interest is applied based on the calculations. Every insurance company has different crediting methods, and that's the key ingredient to how the annuity could grow over time. So an index annuity does some basic things. Typically, the money you put in there is guaranteed as long as you don't take that money out early. One of the big negatives on a fixed index annuity is that there's a commission paid to the agent, and there's other costs of buying the options and futures contracts inside of it. And so if you try to get out early in the first 5, 7, or 10 years, like if you buy a 7-year insurance policy, the surrender period lasts 7 years. It'll be a certain rate, then it'll go down over time.
Right. And so that's kind of the bad side of these things is that commission. A lot of people that sell these things, they don't tell you that. And now there's some regulation out there where they have to, and we feel that that's a good thing. You should always know how whoever's handling your money is getting compensated.
And we typically like to have a trail commission, and what that gives is the ability to have the money coming in to help operate and be the ongoing advisor without having the need to have to sell something new or buy something new. Having a trail commission or like a management fee concept, those actually create the advisor to be beside you throughout your retirement years.
And that's a big reason why we look at these as part of a portfolio. So it's a positioning thing, and we're still there to manage that overall portfolio. That's why we have all these different licenses. These are not just a sale thing. They have to fit into everything else that you have, and they need to be used correctly. That way you can accomplish the goals and make your money win for you.
Right, so you might hear some wording. So there's out there in the industry, there's certain words that they use, and there's wording that basically they're implying that the annuity is going to provide all these guarantees. So a fixed index annuity can be called many other things. What kind of other names could it be, Alex, that you've seen?
Deferred annuity, FIA, I don't know. There's so many different names out there. What's your favorite?
Yeah. Well, I like to call it what it is. I like to say the word fixed index annuity, where the fixed interest is tied to an index. What's happened in the industry is that the crediting methods keep changing. There's all kinds of different indexes that they create, or they use the S&P, NASDAQ, things like that. I like to divide annuity thoughts into two things. What's its purpose? Is it for income? For income, there are certain companies that provide great guarantees, good design. They provide income that can have cost of living. If the policy makes money, you actually raise your income. And then there's also policies that are designed for growth, meaning that they spend most of the money inside the policy on giving you more interest. I think it's very important to divide your thoughts between the two. Sometimes we see people have annuities already, and they have 80, 90% of all their money in the same annuity. Have you seen that?
I see it a lot, and it may not be the same annuity, but it may be 10 different ones. And the more you add in, the harder it can be to track. And I kind of enjoy the puzzle of figuring out how to game these annuities for the best result for the client. I'm not sure how they got them all, but we can't go back in the past. We can only move forward, and there's a lot of things out there to do that are creative you may not see on the surface. So you gotta really dig in there and figure out, well, what's my goals and how do I make these things work for me?
Right. So just like when you're building or doing anything, you have to have the right tools. the interest rates are lowering and lowering, and they're being so small, and people are out there searching for a better interest rate. And so as you're doing that, you need to know what's going on the fixed annuity side. So when you see lower interest rates, what are some things that you talk about with your clients, Alex?
So with low interest rates, there's some good and there's some bad. The good is you can borrow money and it's very cheap. The other good thing is bond fund values are up. The bad thing is you're not going to get any interest in the banks. Your bond funds aren't going to have a great yield, and it's going to be a very, I guess, kind of competitive marketplace for interest rates. And what happens in these low interest rate environments is you have to figure out, how do I get the returns I'm looking for? Do I add risk, or do I add deferral time? There's some type of change that has to be made in order to get that needed rate of return. And you see a lot of people in low interest rate environments going to the stock market because it's it's what they think is the only place to get these returns. And then a period of uncertainty hits and they rethink that. And that's where we come in and figure out what's the right answer for your plan to hit those goals so that you can do whatever it is you and your family want to do.
Right. Your goals drive it. You want to win in retirement, you need some of your money to be protected. We've talked about that throughout the show, having some money that's going to be allocated over certain goals. So you're going to have some short and medium-term goals. Typically, we recommend bank investments with that, money market, CDs, things like that. As we start to extend beyond that 2-3 year period, fixed annuities and then fixed index annuities can slide into that ladder of building that protected piece of your investments. Knowing the annuity products as tools and how to use them is a key ingredient that we can add to you and to your family when we're talking about your finances. So Acres Financial Group, we do full service financial planning, but we first of all look at where you are. So Alex, thanks for trying to cover Annuities 101 in under an hour.
It's a tough one, but I really like this topic, and I hope people reach out and try to stump me with some old annuities they have.
Yeah, there's things called MVAs, which is market value adjustments, which a lot of policies have those. When interest rates are low, sometimes that makes a great opportunity for you to look at policies that you currently own. So today's offer has been for you to get a review of what you already have, what you understand. We want you to understand what you have, and our advisors at Acres Financial Group are ready and able to go over and review what you have. You'll need to bring a policy, and we'll need to see a statement to be able to answer that. So we invite you to give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule a phone call or a video meeting. We also could do a mask meeting in our offices in Farsville or Lutherville, but we look forward to that day when we don't need that. We do recommend that you go ahead and give us a call, 833-946-7384, or go to our website, acresfinancial.com, or connect with us through Facebook. Thanks very much, Alex. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Are you reacting or creating with your investments? When you have a sound financial plan, you don't have to be reacting every day. Let us help you create. Tune in to Winning in Retirement Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 105.7 The Fan. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC, and investment advisory services offered through Kalos Management Incorporated, both located at 11525 Parkwood Circle, Alpharetta, Georgia, 30005 678-356-1100. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services.
Hi, this is Jesse Cunningham, the owner of Mountain View Insurance, and we are proud to be affiliated with Acres Financial Group. We, too, base our business on integrity, service, and acknowledge that every client's insurance needs are unique to their own situation. At Mountain View Insurance, we specialize in car insurance, home insurance, and umbrella coverages, all designed to protect your assets that you've worked so hard to earn. When serving our clients, we focus on creating a protection plan that is appropriate to your needs. After we determine the correct plan, we then go to shop for you. Mountain View Insurance is an independent insurance brokerage, and that means we have access to many top national and regional insurance carriers. Let us build an appropriate and affordable insurance plan for you, and give us a call directly at 410-262-3176. Once again, that's 410-262-3176. This is Jesse Cunningham, owner of Mountain View Insurance, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Appreciating was a paid program, and the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of WJZ-FM, Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or affiliates. Broadcasting from the Thompson Creek Window Company studios. Call Thompson Creek today for the biggest window sale of the year. This is WJZ-FM Gainesville, Baltimore. 105.7 The Fan, a radio.com sports station.